Brainy Dose presents 7 types of people you cannot help. Some folks can have a challenge come up in their lives, but rather than make excuses and complain, they focus on possibilities and then immediately begin to take steps toward change, while others just can't pull themselves together to even start. There's probably at least one person you know who's like this. It's tough. You can only watch them going downhill, knowing there's little you can do. And it just seems to be a repeating cycle of self-destruction with these people. Somehow, it's like they are oblivious to even the most logical words, ideas, and suggestions. Nothing seems to get through to them. And of course, dealing with these people is very frustrating and tiring. So it can be helpful to just take a step back and view these individuals more objectively. With that in mind, here are 7 types of people you cannot help. Number 1, the pessimist. You know these people. They tend to complain a lot. They're bitter and negative about everything. They have a difficult time taking positive steps because they feel like they have no control over situations. And this way of thinking just holds them back. To make things worse, even when things are going well, these people look for something negative in the situation, always suspicious and doubtful. They tend to say things like, "This can't be going so good. Surely there's got to be something wrong." Or, "Yeah, it's going good now, but not sure how long it's going to last." And when you try to help and get them to see the glass as half full, they quickly respond with some pessimistic negative comment. Their perpetual misery and excuses for everything gets old fast, and you only find yourself upset. Number 2, the know-it-all. These are the folks who seem to have the answer for everything. They always have to be right, even when they are clearly wrong. This happens because they lack the self-awareness to see their faults. I guess it's kind of hard to, when in your mind you actually believe that you're right 100% of the time. The problem is that the know-it-all is oblivious to all the things they don't know. They carry on thinking they know everything, which makes them feel important. But it can be very frustrating for the people around them. You only find yourself annoyed by them, especially because they don't care about what you have to say. They are not interested in your perspective, or really anyone else's. Number 3, the staller. This type is about decisions, more specifically, the lack of being able to make one. Of course, it's a good idea to think things over and analyze your options, but it's also important to remember that almost every choice comes with some risk. When it comes to decisions, people make mistakes all the time, and that's where confident individuals are different. They understand that making mistakes is a part of life. If you're not making mistakes, you aren't growing. And while there are some very important decisions, the majority aren't as important and have little effect on our lives. Therefore, it makes no sense to stall over most decisions. Instead, it's best to take action. And when something doesn't seem to be going right, just make adjustments. After all, the important thing is to keep moving forward. But the staller has a real fear of making any kind of decision. They don't really understand risks and mistakes. Plus, it doesn't help that most of them are perfectionists who want things to be, well, perfect. Often, this lack of ability to make even the smallest of decisions can drive people around them nuts. Number 4, the muzzle. No matter what's wrong or how bad things are, they always pretend that all is good and never complain. Introducing the muzzle. These types of people bottle up their feelings and go about life as if they are doing fine. But this causes them grief, as these feelings grow with each new negative episode and continue to wear them down inside. They suffer in silence with anger and frustration. Sadly, they slowly but surely sabotage their relationships with this silence. Now, the muzzle does hope that you interpret their silence as anger, but this is rarely the case since they are always silent, making them hard to read in general. Number 5, the bulldozer. Look out, these people will do pretty much anything to get what they want. They can be pushy and aggressive and walk all over you, even if it means hurting you. Boundaries? Forget it. They don't have any regard for your kindness, time, or effort. They are convinced that only they can handle a situation because their way is the only way, which means they get what they want, and that is all they care about. Number 6, the unreliable. These are the people who waste your time and don't follow through on their promises, typically because they are too busy or just weren't interested in the first place. And they don't really seem to be bothered by it. even if they leave you scrambling and having to fill in the gaps. They believe that even though they don't follow through, the offer to help is what matters. The unreliable type doesn't understand that most people would prefer them to say no rather than make a commitment they can't keep. Number 7, the victim-minded. Being miserable and complaining seem like favorite pastimes of this type. The negativity never ends, as they always have the perception that the world is against them. You can almost say that they enjoy being miserable. The victim mentality of these individuals has them fully convinced that everything in life is beyond their control, and everybody is out to get them. With this comes all kinds of negative feelings: fear, anger, pessimism. Let the pity party begin. These people are stuck in an endless loop. Because they actually thrive on being victims, they are never looking for a solution. They don't want to solve any problems, and thus trying to help them is completely pointless. Should you attempt to rationalize with them, you'll be met with anger and criticism. They'll make it seem like you're against them too. On your journey through life, you will surely encounter these types of people, if you haven't already, and some will become regulars in your circle. They will definitely challenge your patience, so you'll have to strive to maintain your sanity. You'll need to come to terms with the fact that you cannot change them. Even in the best of cases, it is tough to change people, more so when they are oblivious to how others really perceive them. Perhaps the best thing you can do for yourself is to limit the time you spend with them. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and remember to click on the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.